Good afternoon from Lansdowne Road, a ground which has seen international rugby for exactly 100 years, where Ireland have beaten every major rugby nation at one time or another, except for one, New Zealand. Well, Irish hopes are high that today the record could be put straight, because Munster have already set them the example last Tuesday by beating the touring All Blacks, the first ever Irish side to do so. And so it's hoped that today Shea Deering's Ireland 15 could make rugby history. Your commentator is Bill McLaren.
And the great cheer you hear is for the appearance of the All Black side, led by number 7, Graham Moorey, this very popular captain of theirs, who has really endeared himself to public and press alike. And this is an All Black side that realises full well that this is the most important match of their tour. No New Zealand side has ever before gone through a British tour and beaten all 4 home countries. And this is now the one target left to those 8th All Blacks.
The Irish side is a fairly well-known one with 5 British Lions in it. And of course there are just the 2 new caps, Terry Kennedy on the wing and Colin Patterson, the little scrum half right in the middle of your picture. And just one preliminary to go through yet. In fact, it's the haka, the Maori war dance, led by Billy Bush, the man on the top left of the picture. There's this powerful prop forward from Canterbury. And this is the war dance that in a sense proclaims a challenge to the opponent, but also calls for sportsmanlike play. Always a marvellous feature of any All Blacks visit, and of course the crowd have simply lapped that bit up. Clive Norling, who has the build of a number 8 forward, which is quite handy for a referee those days. And the New Zealand side, of course, field 12 of those who toured successfully in France in 1977. The first man to get a kick at the ball is Clive Curry, the one new cap in this New Zealand side. And Clive Norling blows his whistle to start the match. Ireland having won the toss and decided to play probably against the breeze in this first half. Nicely out to Patterson, that's Tony Ward. And Ward gets in his first kick of the match. And nothing could be more encouraging for Tony Ward than to have found his touch from inside his 22 with that first kick. And right away, a little bit of rough play at the line out. And Mark Donaldson leaves it for an attempted goal. Well, this is an interesting departure right at the beginning of this match, because this giant about to take the kick is Gary Sear, the All Blacks number 8. And that is the halfway line. So he's got a kick of something like 55 yards in the old terminology, over 50 metres, and this is a man who really can thump a rugby ball, because I think if we remember just over a year ago in the second test match in Paris against France, this man really banged over a huge penalty goal that put the All Blacks on their way to victory. Well, this is certainly a big one, as you can see, all that distance. The breeze perhaps helps him a little bit. It's blowing across the pitch a bit and gusting around. Gary Sear then with a chance in the very first minute to put the All Blacks ahead. It's a big kick. It could be long enough. Not quite. Colin Patterson fields. Hasn't found touch. Taken there by Taylor. Taylor well tackled by the new young Irish wing, Terry Kennedy. Frank Oliver, who captained the All Blacks against Australia in the 3 tests. Dalton throws gathered in by Rutledge. Graham Moorey tries to work it clear. Phil Orr was going through. Now it's Hayden to Donaldson to Bruce. Bruce with the high one. In comes Larry Maloney, calls for the mark. And I think there was an offside decision against one of the All Black centres. The penalty or the scrimmage. And Ireland opt for the scrummage. Phil Orr, a British line in the front row. And Ireland have channeled that one well. Patterson to Ward. Ward hoisting it across. Bill Osborne waits for it. Outside his own 22. Oh, that was a lovely bit of play by Osborne. Now it's Stu Wilson. Kicked well up towards the 22. Mike Gibson had doubled back. Now he feeds it out to Whelan the hooker on the Irish 22. As Ireland scurry back to get into this ruck. Referee deciding there that it was as well to call up that pile-up situation very quickly, as the International Board have asked the referees to do this season. There's the first one against the head, and it's a pick-up by Duggan to Patterson. Out there to McLennan. McLennan over halfway. Inside to number 7. What a great run this is by Deering. On there to Spring. We're within 15 metres of the All Blacks line. Patterson again as the All Blacks scurry back there. Tremendous attack by the Irish. Now it's coming out to Ward, but the referee had blown. The ball had gone forward at the last moment, but that really was a marvellous bit of attacking play by Ireland, using that narrow side. The support there from the breakaway forwards. Ireland still inside the New Zealand 22, and they've healed it. Patterson to Ward with a drop goal. And he sliced it just past. Clive Curry gets there to touchdown. The quick drop out right up to Larry Maloney. Maloney hoisted. Underneath it is Graham Murray. Murray, the captain, takes it beautifully just outside his own 22. Fed back from Hayden. Now it's Doug Bruce. Whelan throws. Again, Hayden gets it back. That was Frank Oliver helping as well. That's out there to Taylor. Up to the 22. Across there goes Terry Kennedy. And so the two big men in the New Zealand line-out tending to dominate the situation. No scoring after 16 minutes of the first half. On the Irish 22, that time it was Gary Sear. Bit of old-fashioned rucking there from the All Blacks forwards as they drove over. Good strike by Dalton, but the ball coming straight out. Byrne trying to take Brad Johnson down, but that was another good clean strike. Donaldson to Bruce. Bruce with the left-footed drop goal. The referee's hand goes up and it's through, and the All Blacks are in the lead by 3 points to 0 after just 17 minutes of the first half. Tony Ward restarts. That's high enough for his forwards to get up under it, but the All Blacks have controlled it again. Another lovely quick pass by Donaldson. Bruce getting the kick in. Number 4 for Ireland, Moskeen, this giant of a man who's playing in his 25th successive international. Duggan got a hand to that one. Ireland double bank not quite succeeding because the odd All Black arm is getting through, and body as well sometimes. Ireland have turned it, and the All Blacks have been penalised. And this is a chance for Tony Ward to tie the score. Ward then round the corner. It's high enough, and the crowd seems to say it's straight enough. And so that scrummage penalty has put Ireland level at 3 points all, with about 20 minutes of the first half over. Clive Curry brought up to do the kicking off for the All Blacks, the fullback. Hasn't taken that one 10 metres. The All Blacks played it first. and Ireland will get the option. And as their scrummage is doing not too badly at all, they decide to take the scrummage. On this side, Ned Byrne is packing against Brad Johnston. Brad Johnston, who got the first of his New Zealand caps in South Africa, and so is a pretty experienced prop forward. Front row's desperately low there, as they do nowadays. Duggan with the pick-up. This is Patterson, caught by Moody. Moody the farmer robs him out to Donaldson, along to Taylor. Taylor to Osborne. Osborne a little kick, slicing off his foot, and Mike Gibson goes across to clear. Is Mike Gibson the most capped player in the world? His 66th international today. Remarkably played his first international 14 years ago. So they're on the Irish 10 metres line, and this is Graham Murray, number 7, the All Blacks captain, coming back to the tail. Again, those Irish forwards driving through. Seamus Deering, the captain, giving great lead. Murray went down, but the hack on up to Curry inside his own 22. Whelan throws. Keane went round for the peel, but Sear beat them to it. This is Donaldson. Donaldson very strong, caught by his opposite number, Patterson. And Ireland will need a spare scrum half because Patterson's caught in there amongst all those forwards. Gary Sear, Donaldson again. Bruce looking for space and has found it. Up comes Osborne, back goes Kennedy. Young Terry Kennedy, just 24, playing his first international. Doing the sensible thing, nothing fancy, just getting his touch kick away and making sure of it. The All Blacks within 15 metres. Andy Dalton throws, up goes Hayden Palms. Donaldson another lovely quick pass, and Doug Bruce doesn't often drop them like that. On the Irish 22, and Patterson.
Well, I'm very impressed with little Patterson's first game here. He settled down very well, and that kick will have done him and the team a power of good.
Just on halfway. Frank Oliver at 2 for the All Blacks, and Hayden just in behind him, getting a hand to it again. Through goes Duggan. Duggan caught there by Graham Murray. Lays it back to Patterson. To Ward. Again hoisted. A bit too far across field. Depends on the bounce. Stu Wilson going in. Picked up by Osborne on halfway. Now fed back from Oliver to Donaldson to Bruce. There's a slight overlap here. And Bruce not quite certain there of what to do, because Taylor was coming inside him and Stu Wilson was outside. And the ball floated just a bit too high. But again, the All Blacks up to within a few metres of Ireland's 22. My goodness, Hayden's taking a lot of ball here. Donaldson to Bruce. Taylor, Osborne. This is Wilson coming into the line, but dropped it and picked on by Harry Maloney. Across comes Curry. Curry caught by his opposite number. Fed back from Murray to Osborne. The ball had gone forward. And so danger every time there's a breakdown in the handling here. That's the All Blacks 10 metres line. Out to Ward from Patterson. He's found a bit of space. Back goes Sear, covering as a good number 8 should. On the opposite side of the boot-in. And Sear, one of the big Otago forwards, does the needful there. And Ireland once again cut the line out, and New Zealand will have to withdraw. Hayden, the referee, waiting for advantage. The referee has blown for a free kick for the big man being out with the length of the line out. The fact is that it was Ireland's throw-in. They had decided on the length of the line out, and Hayden was left adrift. And it's got to be a tap and a drop. It's an indirect, as it were. Tony Ward, and I think he's made it. Oh, the wind has just eased it past. And Doug Bruce showing a bit of adventurism here. That really was an exciting bit of work by Bruce. He's kicked right up into the Irish 22. Larry Maloney back there does the clearance work with half of New Zealand after him. And a real scoring chance for Ireland to go ahead there has been this. 3 points all still. Graham Moorey still at the tail for the All Blacks, captaining New Zealand in an international for only the third time. Donaldson out to Bruce. Oh, he sliced that one badly. Here's a chance for Ireland if they got a good bounce, but Moorey took it, gave it to Osborne. Osborne with a driving pass. What a chance there is here for Bruce. Bruce inside to Ford. Ford couldn't quite hold it, and Mike Gibson running dangerously across the face of his own post. Didn't quite hit the kick as he wanted to, and he may well breathe a sigh of relief, Mike, that ball did go into touch. A hair-raising bit of play for the Irish, without a doubt. So this line out just outside the Irish 22. Dalton again finding Hayden and Sear, the two big men close together there. This is Frank Oliver, and the All Blacks trying to roll off that maul just to suck in a bit of the fringe defence before putting it clear, but they didn't. They sucked in enough and got an offside decision. A couple of the Irish forwards left high and dry there. And so here's another chance for Clive Curry to put the All Blacks ahead as half-time approaches. Clive Curry then. Looks a bit better, but again, just flighting past the left-hand post. It stays at 3 points all, and I make it just about a couple of minutes to go to half-time. Tony Ward hasn't found touch. Clive Curry on halfway. Again, the high up and under. Maloney. That'll restore his confidence after that earlier fumble as the referee's whistle goes for half-time, with the score at 3 points all. The drop goal by Doug Bruce to the penalty goal by Tony Ward. Tremendously hard first half, little splurges of action, and clearly everything to play for in this second spell. This is Tony Ward preparing to kick off after the interval. And Ireland with what breeze advantage there is. The sun just fading away now, the pitch all in shadow as it were, but in superb condition. Clive Norling has a look to check with Graham Moorey that the All Blacks are all set. And so the second half gets underway with a long kick by Tony Ward. And he won't be terribly pleased with that one because it's gone straight out. And the All Blacks opt for the scrummage in the middle of the field. Now then, what can the Irishmen do with this All Black scrummage? Dalton certainly striking well. Donaldson, and this is Taylor coming across. That's Wilson. Wilson with that lovely little real class, almost up to the 22. This is Clive Curry, the fullback. Graham Moorey suddenly appears to help to release the ball, but Ireland have managed to trap it. Now the ruck goes in. Now it's Donaldson to Bruce. Bruce going for the kick. Byrne couldn't quite hold it on the Irish 22. That was Billy Bush driving through, and eventually it's Colin Patterson who manages to get the ball away. Well, that was a real crash bang at the start of the second half. Dalton throws. Moskeen got in front of it. Hayden driving through the Irish line. That was the kick on by Bruce and caught by Moorey. Again laid black on a plate. Donaldson out to the big man, Hayden. All 17 stones plus of him. And the pile-up situation, and Clive Norling quite rightly not letting it develop any further than that with the ball buried. Donaldson getting a good channel. Sear holding it in. Sear going for the pickup, giving Donaldson a bit of space. This is Bruce. That was Osborne on the scissors. Osborne, who's so powerful. Up to within about 15 metres again. Donaldson to Bruce. Bruce going for the second drop goal. And it's there. So Doug Bruce puts New Zealand ahead by 6 points to 3 with just 3 minutes of the second half over, and it all came from this lovely feedback from Sear, that massive long pass. Then Osborne took the ball back in, linking up with his forwards in traditional New Zealand manner. There's the black tidal wave, again the ball laid back, and Doug Bruce with a good lot of room there, and once again on his good foot. So it's been put up to Ireland once again, as Tony Ward restarts, and going this time for the long kick out of play. Clive Curry thinking twice and touching down. And Mark Taylor, I think, trying to suggest to Clive Norling that he was maybe being impeded by Fergus Slattery. That's a Lulu. That really was a good kick. Tremendous lift for your pack when they can trundle 60 metres upfield. Hands on hips there. Fearless Frank, they call him. Frank Oliver of Otago, who captains Otago and the All Blacks in the series against Australia. And once again, the ricochet being flicked there from an offside position. Tony Ward, spiralling kick. What a beauty. Well, a sharp riposte from the stocky little standoff who used to play for Gary Owen, now with St Mary's College. And the All Blacks down on their own 22. Moskeen there, all set for a duel with Hayden. Dalton to throw. Nicely caught in there by Keane. Patterson to Ward, to McKibben, to Gibson. Gibson, McLennan was in the line. That's Kennedy stepping inside his man. That little jinking run of his. Still 10, 12 metres outside the All Blacks 22. And now it's Patterson to Ward again. Now it's Mike Gibson. Out to McLennan. McLennan, a big strong wing, as a Gibson who had looked in. Didn't know. That's Ward from Gibson, but the ball had gone forward. Brian Ford of Marlborough, and a worry there as he's obviously damaged that bandaged knee, and a great sympathetic ovation for him. And the big New Zealand contingent here giving a great cheer to Brian Williams, who was dropped for this international, the most capped New Zealand back, and here he is back again for his 35th international match for the All Blacks. Beautifully channeled to Patterson, the switch there, nicely to Ward. Ward, the jinking sidestep, a lovely bit of rugby football there. That was Curry who came in, but there's been a bit of late obstruction. And there's a real chance here for Ireland to tie the score. Ward being obstructed as he kicked ahead. We think perhaps by the New Zealand flanker Murray. It all came from this little switch pass. Now you'll notice how Ward stepped inside two men. That was the kick, and then it was just the late tackle. It was a hairline decision because the Murray may well have been launched, but the referee has given the double penalty, and his word is law. And here's the man who, having been obstructed, now has the chance to tie the score. Tony Ward looks simple enough from here, doesn't it? But with 51,000 people looking at you and praying for you, the pressure is very great. Tony Ward then. Oh, it looks a good one. Ireland 6, New Zealand 6. 10 minutes of the second half gone.
Well, Billy rightly said that. It may have only been from 25 or 26 metres, but I've had a kick there in an international, and believe you me, those posts look about 6 inches wide. I thought that was a tremendous effort because Ireland need to come back into the game now.
I thought you'd kicked every goal you tried, Gareth. Anyway, Clive Curry ready to restart. That's a better one. Oh, and Hayden did charge up there. That was a very well judged kick, and it's laid back nicely for Donaldson, feeding on the narrow side to Brian Williams. The catch and gathering by Kennedy. Billy Bush up there first, but he called for the mark. And he's taking his time about a young fellow who just came into the Leinster side this season. And he's done here what he's done throughout this match. He's made sure of his touches, and that in itself is a great bonus to any side. The All Blacks, however, on the Irish 22. Murray number 7 at the tail, Sear number 8, Rutledge number 6 in front of him, then Hayden number 4. Fergus Slattery at the tail, number 6 for Ireland. The catch and the drive there, Donaldson, Bruce, there's going to be an extra man here, Taylor to Osborne, but again he wouldn't back it. This is the breakaway by Maloney, the Irish fullback, almost up to halfway. Fergus Slattery is there, but the All Black rucking and mauling there on retreat was pretty good in the respect that they got their forwards back quickly. Ireland had the advantage there, but there were enough black jerseys just to tie it in. This scrummage going down virtually dead on halfway. Patterson to Ward, again finding space, across comes Curry. That was a nasty bounce, but Williams did well to leave it for him. Some good follow-up tackling there by the Irish. They hoof through as Brian Williams goes for it. Williams inside his own 22 as Lansdowne Road comes to his feet, and the referee's whistle goes because that's a pile-up. Well, plenty of fire and fury about this Irish back still. This is going to be a vital scrummage ball, and the All Blacks will want to disrupt it. But Ireland holding and turning, Duggan still holding it in. When is it out the scrummage? You're allowed to go 180 degrees round and still pick up if it's the number 8, and that's Duggan to within 2 or 3 metres of the All Blacks line. And Colin Patterson drawing the attention of Clive Knowling to the fact, I think, that the ball was almost about to be released. You can imagine his anxiety there, because it would have been a lovely ball to win. Doug Bruce, the All Blacks standoff, is positioned pretty flat for a clearance kick. He may move round once the ball's in the scrummage. Clive Curry is up in the line out at outside centre, so they're positioning. It's rather interesting. Bruce could maybe well have been a bit deeper, but he's worried about Ireland winning the ball. Bruce now, and you notice how he really had to scurry there. He didn't have as much room perhaps as he could have given himself, but he was concerned lest Ireland won one against the head. I think the day's coming when scrum halves are going to hope that they'll close up the line out again and shut some of those spaces that people can charge through. However, it's Patterson to Ward, to Gibson, to McKibben. They've missed out the fullback, and this is McLennan. Oh, what a thumping tackle that was by Curry. Well, Curry, the All Black fullback, really tackled like the crack of doom there. That was a banger. But Ireland still putting on the pressure, just outside the New Zealand 22. Patterson, Ward again. That one's almost got snow in it. Up comes Mike Gibson, caught by Curry. That was brave, and he called, and he's got his mark. Well, this 22-year-old new cap at fullback for New Zealand certainly has earned his spurs, because that's the heat and burden of the fray if ever there was any. And he follows it with that lovely kick. 6 points all. About 20 minutes of the second half gone. So we've 1 quarter of the match left. Doug Bruce 6, Tony Ward 6. And they're on the New Zealand 10 metres line. That's Ned Byrne. And he takes it. But through again goes Hayden. Was he through too quickly? Yes, he was. But there's no doubt this massive man, Andy Hayden of Auckland, has done some great work for the All Blacks in this match. And Tony Ward with a vital kick, because this is obviously an international in which the score's going to be tight right to the end, and there may just be one score in it at the end. Those Irish forwards have shown remarkable resilience in this match, sometimes being better, the next minute coming back. But all of them holding their breath here for Tony Ward. The kick from the New Zealand 10 metres line. Can Ward put Ireland ahead? He's pushed it out. Gary's here. That's still a Gary Owen. Moskeen waits. Up was Brian Williams. Bill Osborne was in there as well. But here's a good chance for the counter-attack. Ward to Gibson, along the line to McKibben. McKibben out to Duggan. Duggan to McLennan. McLennan half stopped by Hayden. Inside the back, wheeling the hooker. Almost up to the New Zealand 22. Beautifully worked back by the Irish forwards. Referee may not have seen the ball, thought it was buried. And this is one of the problems, of course, when referees are encouraged to blow up the pile-up quickly. Sometimes you can blow too quickly. Not straight, free kick. Doug Bruce again with that lovely spiralling kick. Gains 50, 60 metres. This is the man who's been the bulwark of the Canterbury side for so long, the steady man that they can depend on. And he's pushed the All Blacks up to there, just short of the Irish 22. Whelan is about to throw. Hayden got a hand to it, knocked it down to Oliver. Donaldson to Bruce, along the line to Taylor. Taylor has Osborne with him, but he gives it to Murray. Murray out to Donaldson again. The narrow side. Back there goes Maloney, 15, and Kennedy, 14, but the ball beats both of them. And Donaldson with that neat little chip kick. Not a lot of room. He had support on the left, but there wasn't a lot of manoeuvring room. And the All Blacks are within 15 metres of the Irish line. Whelan to throw. Keane nudged it through, but again the All Blacks just managing to squeeze through one or two of those little gaps. But Patterson, very sharp. His positioning there was absolutely superb, because he was sideways on, but he had the ball furthest away from the All Black marauders, and it gave him that split second to get the kick in. He really has had a very useful debut. Outside the Irish 22. Dalton throws. Hayden again gets his fingertips to it. And once more, the Black avalanche goes in. Under control. Now it's Donaldson to Bruce. The run by Taylor. A dummy run by Osborne. Bruce caught there by McKibben. Just a little bit too slow, the whole move perhaps. And a penalty for going over the top. Slightly mechanical and a bit laboured. And Shea Deering, the Irish captain, is the man hurt now.
The tackling has been probably the best feature of the match so far, Bill. But I think now Ireland need to really get down deep into the All Blacks 25 so that they can give a final onslaught in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Tony Ward then with the penalty. It's very useful, Stu Wilson. And again, that lovely bit of flying acceleration. He really is an electric spark, this boy. Out along the line to Rutledge, to Mooney, to Bruce. Over the 22. And Bruce had an overlap outside to Brian Williams, and it might have been worth passing it. Williams taking the quick throw into Mooney. And Bruce was up there again, and the All Blacks are within 5 metres of the Irish line. Now it's Donaldson. along to Osborne. Taylor trying to work it clear. Slattery looking for the breakout. Whelan again driving on. The Irish back arrive. Phil Orr's in there as well. An interception almost by Mark Taylor, who got through very quickly. Gibson gives it to Tony Ward. Over his own 22. Caught by Frank Oliver. 10 metres outside that Irish 22. Dalton throws. Spring got well up there. It was Duggan who gathered it in. But a penalty there for a bit of line-out interference as they went, as Spring went for the catch. And Ward pushes and probes. It's Brad Johnston, the Auckland prop forward, captained Auckland this season. Donaldson. And Donaldson did well, ran in front of his forwards, put them onside. Up goes Murray. That's Dalton, number 2 in again, up to the Irish 10 metres line. Now it's Oliver feeding back to Donaldson. Donaldson inside trying to find Bush. That's Hayden. The Irish screen secure at the moment, but someone going over the top there. And this is a penalty to New Zealand, and BG himself is about to take it. He's one of the New Zealanders who goes round the corner for the long kicks. Brian Williams. Oh, and he hooked that one badly. Mike Gibson in all kinds of trouble. He had to wait until it crossed the Irish line because he obviously didn't want to play it before it did so, and it bounced awkwardly. I've no doubt he's pretty relieved to get it down behind the line. So we're still at 6-all, 2 minutes or so to go. The crowd here trying to lift the Irish side, but it's Hayden who lifts up off the ground there to take the Ward drop out. Ball held in, important who gets the put in, and the referee deciding that Ireland were probably responsible for the stoppage, or that New Zealand were going forward. Donaldson, Bruce, is he going to try another drop goal? Sliced it, it's still a nasty ball for young Kennedy. Oh, he did well. Caught in the tackle by Brian Williams. And a fair tackle it was, but Kennedy once again getting his kick away. The All Blacks, however, are still within 10 metres of that Irish line. Dalton again, hoisting it for Hayden. Hayden to Donaldson. Donaldson trying to go for the corner flag. Has he made the line? Clive Norling has got his hand up, and the New Zealanders are dancing with joy because they've gone ahead with that try. Dalton, the hooker, was in there as well. It was the catch by Hayden that actually made it. And watch Donaldson here. He disappeared really behind the rest of the forwards. He was half caught by Whelan. Dalton, the hooker, was up there. He gave it inside to Brad Johnson, but it was Dalton, the hooker, who drove over and seemed to have got the ball down. And so the All Blacks go ahead by 10 points to 6 with that score. Curry then hit it in the middle, but again for the third time dragged it across to the left of the post. Tony Ward is absolutely screaming for the ball because he knows that time is fading away. New Zealand ahead by 10 points to 6. And Ireland will be keen to keep the ball in play. In comes Hayden once again, caught by Deering. Lays it back for his scrum half, Donaldson. And all depends now on how many minutes Clive Norling is prepared to add on for injuries in this second half. Brad Johnson once again at the front for New Zealand. Frank Oliver at number 2. Then Andy Hayden behind him. Then Billy Bush. Whelan throws, Spring, palms, out to Ward from Patterson to McKibben to Gibson. Gibson, Kennedy, almost up to halfway. Caught there by Taylor and by Doug Bruce. Now listen to that roar from the Huge Irish contingent in the crowd. I make it that we've played almost 6 minutes of injury time. Drive on there by Byrne. Now can Ireland get the layback? It's Patterson out to Ward to Gibson. Gibson with the dummy, 10 metres short. Irish forwards trying to secure it once again. It's Patterson once more to Ward. Along the line there, the fullback in the line. McKibben grounded, Maloney was there as well. That was little Kennedy who gave the pass there to McKibben. The referee's whistle goes for the end of the match, and New Zealand have won in a dramatic finish by 10 points to 6. A tremendous match, full of hard endeavour, full of mistakes, but a game that kept you absolutely enthralled virtually to the very end, until Dalton's try sealed it for the All Blacks. And so they've successfully negotiated their first hurdle in their quest for a Test match Grand Slam on this tour. And they keep their unbeaten international record against Ireland, and certainly compensate for that first tour defeat by Munster on Tuesday. The All Blacks the winners by 10 points to 6.
So a rugged encounter, but New Zealand keeping their unbeaten record against Ireland, and their victorious coach is with me now. Jack Gleeson, well, you certainly kept us holding our breath for a very long time.
Yes, I like that, retaining our unbeaten record. It was very close, wasn't it? Nearly a draw. I had settled for a draw. Yes, it was a cliffhanger. It was left till the last few minutes, and then Ireland came back at us, and could have been anyone's game.
I think we saw today a rejuvenated Andy Hayden.
Certainly. Possibly inspired.
What about the Irish side? I mean, was it very comparable to the Munster performance?
Possibly, yes, only that we made more mistakes and we didn't play with the same zest or dedication as we did today against Munster, not taking it away from Munster at all. They taught us a jolly good lesson, and we learnt a lot from it, which we were able to put into practice today. We still made a lot of mistakes today, but of course with the type of game that we endeavour to play, if you're going to move the ball around, hence you make mistakes.
Yes, I mean, but watching it from the grandstand, you know, one felt almost frustrated seeing Stu Wilson and later Brian Williams on and Ford before him, not getting the kind of possession, but I thought you would have wanted to see.
Well, you've got to give credit to the Irish, because their midfield backs got up, and with pressure and tackle, man is on the ground, and you saw so many men committed in the midfield being put on ground. How do you get through to the wing three quarters then?
How do you now feel looking ahead to Cardiff Arms Park?
Well, I said when we came here that our aim was to win, and we're still striving to win, and that's what we're setting our sights on at Cardiff Arms Park, another win.
Congratulations anyway, it's a W in the book, that's what matters at this point.
That's right, Nigel, thanks very much.